I was before my time. Rupert Wackley is Director of Estate Agents Jackson Stops in the Cotswolds at the Chipping Camden branch. Rupert, how much of an increase have you seen in your area, and what kind of properties are in demand?
The demand seems to be across the board, really. Everything, sales and lettings in the Cotswolds have seemed to have a huge demand in the last six months or so. And the other problem is there's been a real shortage, especially in the rental market. I know a lot of agents have literally not got any stock left, and we're one of those as well. So that is half the problem, just down to supply and demand.
And is this people moving to the country, wanting to move to the country, or people, wanting to at least have access to the countryside? What's the most common thing that you're seeing? And it must increase the prices enormously if you've got that situation going on.
Well, I think initially from the rental side, when we went into the first lockdown, there was definitely a rush for sort of the London family to move to the country for that period. I think also a rollover from that is that actually people rather liked what they were experiencing, and that subject to fibre broadband and amenities and access to London, that actually it worked quite well for them, and what the difference to lifestyle was. So I think there was a certain amount of almost try before you buy. And now people, we've seen quite a lot of people that started off renting are now looking at buying, and the sales transactions in the last 6 months have been phenomenal, and probably, I probably would say as strong as they've been since 2007.
Wow, that's a very vibrant market, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been phenomenal across the board and all levels, not in a particular sector.
I mean, I know you're not here to talk about London, but obviously it does beg the question, is the reverse happening in the city?
I think that the city, although it's probably, I'm not based in the city, but you sort of obviously hear our sort of, we've got 8 offices up in London, so you obviously hear sort of their stories that has been affected. But it's interesting when certain parties move from the capital, then other parties might move in, or investment or such. So I don't think it's falling off a cliff. I think it's just having a tougher time.
And is the stamp duty holiday playing a part?
Stamp duty holiday is playing a massive part with the sector between, say, 400,000 and 500,000. We from this little office here have had, I haven't done best and final offers for a number of years, and so just purely because there's been so much demand for these cottages that you've almost had to, the only way you can resolve the amount of interest is to go to a best and final bids. So yes, it has been a real demand in that area.
And do you expect to see this like long term, or do you think it's a blip because of the year that we've just lived through?
I think COVID has opened people's eyes and minds to working from a more rural location, and now they've tried it with, as long as they can have that broadband. That's usually the first question we get asked is, what's the broadband connection? Have you got fibre? Those are the questions. Now, if they can work with those conditions, the lifestyle for them, for a lot of them, it works better. And yeah, I think the move to the country is not going to be a blip. I think it could go on for a number of years yet.
It's interesting to see how the unfair extension of our broadband is affecting rural communities. So, the places that have broadband clearly very much in demand, the ones that don't, overlooked.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, we're GigaClear, which is probably one of the, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention individuals, but, they're one that very much is sort of focused on the area here. That is That has got to, I don't know the exact sort of percentages, but that has got to a lot of the more rural areas here. And I know that the ones that haven't got it are sort of on the list to be in the near future.
Rupert Wackley from estate agents Jackson Stops, thank you very much. Now be warned.